but have a clarification. If you are not satisfied, you give me a call, post in the group or individually. I will certainly help you. But leaving it as it is not desired. This is what most of you have done. But anyhow, it's good that you are seeking clarification now. Now, somebody wanted to know difference between debit and credit balance and suspense account. These are two different things. First, let me tell you difference between debit and credit. At what stage? Now let it be an interactive class. You will learn more. Whosoever know the answer, tell me the answer. At which stage do we reach calculating difference between debit and credit balance? What is that stage of accounting? Is it recording or classifying?
Classifying.
Classifying, correct. What do you do in classifying? You prepare a ledger. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
You prepare. In ledger, some entries you post in debit side and some entries you post in credit side. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Wherever you are not clear, seek a clarification. Whichever sentence is not clear, you seek clarification. I repeat, you all have told me, you have understood the difference between debit and credit balance. I ask you, at which stage do you calculate balance? You have rightly pointed out that you calculate balance at the stage of at the stage of ledger. When you prepare a ledger, you post several things on debit side and several things on credit side. How do you post? When a transaction given in journal debit, you write in debit side. If it is given in credit, you write in credit side. In the process, you have a ledger, you have an account which is in T form, some things on debit side, some things on credit side. Several entries on debit side, several entries on credit side. If this process is clear to you, then you come to the stage of calculating debit balance or credit balance. For the time being, just consider that this is not a class of accounting. This is a mathematics class or this is arithmetic class. You have written some things on plus side, something on minus side. How do you take the difference? You total both the sides. Whichever side is more, if plus side is more, difference will appear on the minus side. If minus side is more, difference will appear on the plus side. Suppose your plus is 100, minus is 80. Your plus is 100, minus is 80. Which balance will this be?
Minus 20.
Minus 20. Now, I said plus 100 minus 80. So, what will be the balance? It will appear on minus side 20. But will this balance be plus or minus?
Plus.
What will this balance be, plus or minus?
Plus.
No.
It's not. Is that difficult? Total of your plus side is 100. Total of your minus side is 80. So you have a balance of 20. This balance is plus 20 or minus 20?
Plus 20.
It is
Plus
plus 20.
20.
It is plus 20. It is plus
Plus.
20. Now call your plus as debit and call your minus as credit. Call your plus as debit, call your minus as credit. Which balance this 20 is? Is it debit balance or credit balance?
Debit balance.
Debit balance. So every account that you have has got two sides, one debit, the other credit. Total both sides, whichever side is more, the balancing figure would appear on the other side, and their other side will have either a debit balance or credit balance depending on which side of your ledger account was heavy, which side had more total. That's all. This is what you can do. So what step will you follow? Once you have posted all the transactions in a ledger on a rough page, total debit side and also total credit side. On rough page, you are having two totals, one debit total, the other credit total. You yourself will immediately come to know which side is more. If debit is more, write balancing figure in credit side so that both sides are equal, and vice versa. If credit side is more, write a balancing figure in the debit side so that both sides are equal, and that balance will be one which has more of the debit side or more of the credit side. This is how you calculate difference between debit balance and credit balance in a ledger account. Now, when all balances have been calculated, so each account will give you either a debit balance or a credit balance. When you tabulate these balances, I am trying to answer your next question, suspense account. When you tabulate all of them in a separate statement, which you call as a trial balance, usually both sides should be equal. Both sides should be equal. If both sides are not equal, what do? You will not wait to find out the difference till 2 years or 3 years. You have to close the accounts. Suppose you prepared your trial balance on 31st December, both sides were not equal and there was a difference of 30,000 rupees. So you will try to find out where you have gone wrong, which total is wrong, which entry you have not transferred, where the difference has not been properly calculated. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of possibilities. In the process, you may end up spending 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, even if you work 24 hours. So what do? You try just initially, maybe for a day or two, you try. And if you're not able to find out, you write that figure as a suspense account. As a suspense account and take the next step. Go and prepare profit loss account and balance sheet. When you write suspense account, that means a balance will be carried forward. The balance in the suspense account, either debit balance or credit balance, will be carried forward. And when in the time to come, next day, next week, next month, any time in the next year, you will naturally come to know the mistake that you made, or mistakes, if not one, several you made. So each mistake that you make, you will correct it, and the difference in your suspense account will either increase or decrease. It will continue increasing or decreasing till such time you reach a stage where the balance in profit suspense account will become zero. Theoretically assume that there were two mistakes. Once you recorded something wrong by 20,000, once you recorded something wrong by 10,000, in such a way that your trial balance did not tally. So once you attempt those, the balance in your suspense account will fall to a zero. So this is what we can correct. This is what we can do. If there is anything you have not understood in the entire discussion which I had, you ask clarification. Otherwise, I will move on and explain to you how to prepare profit loss account and balance sheet from trial balance.
Sir, I want to ask, what is suspense account, like liability or asset?
Okay. Suspense account will not be treated as an asset or a liability. We will treat it as a separate head. Because see, what is an asset? Something that we owe, something of which we are owner. Something of which we are owner, like cash, bank, building, machine. What is liability? Something which is payable. So is suspense account payable to somebody? So I told you that there is a balance in suspense account of rupees 80,000, of rupees 30,000. This balance can be debit balance. This balance can also be credit balance. Is it your liability? Because you do not know even at this stage what is the reason. Unless you know the reason, only then you will be able to tell what is this. So suspense in itself will not be anything. As and when you come to know the kind of error or mistake that you made, you will pass an entry, as a result of which your suspense account will be reduced or even may increase also. But ultimately, when all the errors have been located, the suspense account balance will be zero. Now, shall I move on, or you still have? No, I don't mind. If you have any more question, ask me. Then I will move on to the next question you asked.
Suspense.
Yes.
So this suspense balance can be right on either side, debit or credit.
Depending on which balance is it. Yes. Now, next question that one of you asked was how to prepare profit loss account and balance sheet from trial. Okay. Now, one who has asked this question and others also, you are clear how trial balance looks like? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tell me its column. Aditya Sharma. Aditya, tell me what are the columns in trial balance?
Sir, particulars, the name of the account, And first is a serial number, then the folio or the from the page from which the ledger it is
good,
taken,
good.
and then the debit balance. Oh, sorry, amount, debit or credit side.
Either debit balance or credit balance. So you may say at serial number, then particulars, then folio, debit balance or credit balance. Now each head of account, the total or its balance will appear in either side, either debit side or credit side, or can it appear on both sides? Suppose you have written salaries account and there will be a figure in front of this in the same row. This figure, can it appear on both sides or it will appear only on one side?
So one side.
Only one side. Means all the heads of account that you have, salaries, income tax, advertisement, purchase return, sales, furniture, cash, bank, go on and on and on. Each head of this account will either have a debit balance or a credit balance. Number one. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Number two. Each of these heads which you are seeing in the trial balance, each of these heads, there can be 100, there can be 1,000, there can be 10,000. Each one of them will belong to only 5 categories. There will not be 6th category. What will be those 5 categories? Each will be either an asset,
liability, expense,
liability.
revenue, or capital.
Yes, absolutely right. Asset, capital, liability, expense or revenue. So you have to do, what all you have to do is to classify all these 100, 200, 300 items into 2 statements. One is profit loss account, the other statement is balance sheet. One more question. You have to transfer them all to 2 statements, profit loss account and balance sheet. What is that statement? Each of these 2 statements have got 2 columns. Each of these statements have got 2 columns. In the profit loss account, what are 2 columns?
Expense and revenue.
Now, from the list of heads of account in the trial balance, all expenses will be recorded in the expense side, all revenues will be recorded in the revenue side. All right. Then suppose procedurally what you can do, you can prepare, let us say you can open 2 pages of your copy, 2 pages of your notebook. On one page write profit loss account, on the other page you write balance sheet. Each you will have 2 columns. Draw the column in between. So wherever you start with the first head of account, if it is asset, write under the heading of asset. If it is liability, write under the heading of liability. If it is capital, write under the heading of capital. If it is expense, write in the head in the expense side. If it is revenue, write in the revenue side. You can consider this like there are different colored toys and there are toys of different colors and they are lying in your courtyard. You are asked to classify them. Toys of red color and on one place, toys of blue color on one place, toys of green color on the other place, toys of white color on the, this is nothing beyond that. What you are doing, you are picking up each item. If it is expense, you are writing in the expense side of profit loss account. If it is revenue, you are writing on the revenue side, that is credit side of profit loss account. If it is liability, you are writing in the liability side of balance sheet. If it is asset, you are writing in the asset side of balance sheet. This exercise is easy. What is difficult in this exercise? To know which item is what. Of the 100 items which are available, of the 100 heads of account which are available in the trial balance, which one belongs to asset category, which one belongs to liability category, which one belongs to expense category. If you can understand that, you will be in a position to easily prepare profit loss account and balance sheet. Is this clear up to this stage?
Yes, sir.
Now let me know what is the problem at this stage. What is the further problem? What becomes difficult in the preparation of profit loss account and balance sheet?
Sir, please explain what are the direct expenses or indirect expenses.
Okay. Once we have classified them as an expense, next question that this Lata is asking, what are direct, what are indirect? Just consider the explanation Rest you will do on your own. What could be a direct thing? Something which is proportional to the volume of business. If business is more, the expense will be more. If business is less, the expense will be less. There are certain expenses which are indirect, which are not in proportion to the volume of business, which remain same irrespective of the nature of the volume of business. Now I'll give you two examples and you tell me which one is direct, which one is indirect. One is rent and the other one is purchases. Which one is direct, which one is
Rent.
indirect?
Rent is
Purchases.
indirect and purchase is direct.
Purchase is direct because purchases will be more if there is more business, and rent will remain the same whether you have business, you don't have business. The office is closed for 10 months, the office is open. It doesn't matter, you will continue paying rent. Now tell me more example. I will ask you expenses and you tell me which expense is it. Salary, direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Indirect. Advertisement,
Indirect.
indirect. Wages,
Indirect.
Direct.
direct. You all know that wages are paid in proportion to the volume of work somebody does. ये जो फैक्ट्री में लेबरर काम करते हैं उनको वेजेस मिलती हैं कि सैलरी मिलती है?
Wages.
और मैनेजर को क्या मिलता है?
Salary.
क्या सैलरी इस पर डिपेंड करती है कि उसने कितना काम किया या हर महीने उसको फिक्स सैलरी मिलेगी?
Fixed.
Fixed salary.
Yes. So with this you can think and accordingly consider direct expenses and indirect expenses. So in this way you can prepare profit loss account and balance sheet. There was one more form of profit loss account, one more category which I discussed earlier, known as profit and loss appropriation account. Profit and loss appropriation account. Which type of organization makes this account? Company, profit loss, the individual or sole trader or partnership or what?
Partnership, sir.
Company.
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 It's a company. Why? I'll explain to you why not partnership or why not sole trader. The profit that is earned by a sole trader belongs to whom? Himself or someone else?
Himself.
Himself, correct? Himself. What will he do with that profit? That profit will increase his capital, isn't it? So, acha, okay, what does a company do with the profit?
Share it among shareholders.
Very good. Share it. Before sharing, what should it do? Before it starts sharing, what should it do?
Invest into the business.
Yes. Either invest or if not investing, at least keep certain amount aside for investing in future. Isn't it? Company has earned a profit of rupees 1000. It has broadly two options. It can retain the entire amount and invest in the business, or it can distribute the entire amount to the shareholder, or it can have 50-50, 60-40, 10-90, 90-10. It can distribute part and retain part, correct? Or it can distribute some part and retain, isn't it? Can do like this. So the process in which it does, it is recorded in an account known as profit and loss appropriation account. You may try to remember it with the word appropriation. That is what is happening to the profit company has earned. So first of all, there is an order in which the transaction in this profit and loss appropriation accounts are recorded. Of the 1000 rupees company has earned, first it will pay taxes, then it will pay the dividend to preference shareholder. There is a category of shareholders, preference shareholder. It will pay dividend to preference shareholders. Then it will retain something for a future investment known as reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus. Then it will distribute a dividend to preference, dividend to equity shareholder. That is those who are owners. And who decides this in case of a company? What should happen with the profit? Who will take a decision?
Board of directors.
Board of directors. Who will be the board members of the board of directors?
Stakeholders.
Those
Employees.
No. Those
So those who have more than a particular share in a company.
those who have maximum number of shares, you can say. Those who have maximum number of shares, and other than them, there'll be some which are there'll be some more which are nominated by the government as statutory. Okay, before I go on, this Keshu has mentioned, sir, it is made in the partnership firm as well. Okay. Now, what happens in the partnership firm? The profit which is earned by the partnership firm is distributed amongst the partners. Accordingly, their capital is increased or their capital is decreased. Then they may decide which part or how much of their profit they wish to reinvest. How much profit they wish to reinvest. It will be a collective decision of the partners, not of any other person. Look at the magnitude of the decision. In partnership, how many maximum persons can be there? How many maximum persons are possible in a partnership? How many maximum number of partners?
No limit, sir.
No, not 200. Somebody wrote 200. No. You have added one more zero. Just delete 1 0, then your answer will be correct. Minimum 2, maximum 20. Then, and how many shareholders are possible in a company? Unlimited. So look at the decision taken by lakhs and lakhs of people, and decision taken by just 20 or less than 20 people. 20 is the maximum limit, but usually it mirrors not maybe 2%, 3%, 4%, etc. Not more. Practically, I'm talking about. So this is what a company does. It prepares profit and loss appropriation account. Any further question here, or I'll take the third question that somebody asked. If you have further questions, ask me.
Sir?
Hmm.
So you give 10 transactions to us and we prepare the trial balance for that.
Okay.
So there were two entries, IFS and XYZ. So
Okay.
how do we classify them as asset, liability or capital, etc.?
Good. What is IFS, or what is, because they are name of persons only, they are name. No,
Yes,
let me explain to you from the point of view of liability and asset concept. Suppose the balance of one person is in debit side. Under what circumstances do you debit a person? Or under what circumstances, let us say, it appears in the debit side? When, see, we have a rule, to increase in asset is to be debited. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
To increase in asset is to be debited. That means you would have increased them more number of times than decrease. Then it is your asset. What do we say with respect to liability? Increase in liability is
Credit.
debited or credited?
Credit.
Credited. That means if there is a credit balance, it is your liability. If there is a debit balance, it is your asset. Depending on which side of your trial balance the balance appears, it becomes your asset or it becomes your liability.
Okay.
One which is given in debit side is your asset. One given, yes. Just hold on for a second. Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody came. So the what was I saying? That if the balance is there in debit side, it is your asset. If the balance is there in credit side, it is your liability. Now you have
Okay.
further questions.
Okay.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. There will be debit balance in the salary account also. So can we say it is our asset?
No,
We
sir.
cannot
That would be
calculate it.
expense.
Yes, because if we are able to identify expense and income, we will be able to do it correctly. Any further question? Okay. Then you ask me how to about the opening entries and closing entries, isn't it? Opening, how to pass opening entries, how to pass closing entries. So first closing entries will be passed, only then opening entries can be passed. Okay, is there, somebody wrote, is there a difference between capital reserve and reserve capital? Yes. Yes, I'll explain them. Hold, I mean, just make a note. I'll explain to you. Let me take up first these questions, which you have already asked. But for the time being, I can tell you there's a difference. There are two words, reserves and surplus. A reserve means you earmark them for a specific purpose, such as dividend equalization reserve, such as reserve for this purpose, reserve for that purpose. Surplus is something which is not earmarked. You just maintain a surplus, can use it wherever the company feels a necessity. Now, reserve capital or capital reserve. At times, a particular type of capital is to be redeemed at a later date. So you maintain a reserve, and that you call as capital reserve. Like I'll explain to you more later. Let me first finish with this one. There are still several questions. So opening and closing entries. First, you will make closing entry. Then only you will come up for the. Then only you will make a closing entry. You will pass closing entry. Now, closing entry is how to pass the closing entry. Now, the reason for passing closing entries is that you have several ledger accounts, like all expenses account, all revenue account, which definitely have balance. Let me start with one account, sales account. This is a revenue account. Which balance will it have? Debit or credit? Yes, it will have credit balance. Will you carry it forward to the next accounting year? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what will you do? What will you do with the next year with this sales, with the revenue balance?
So it gets carried over to the capital account.
But that you will do in the one account in the last day of accounting year.
Yes, sir.
So balances of revenue and capital account, revenue and expenses account are not carried forward. Why are they not carried forward? Because we take difference between revenue and expenses, and the result is profit or loss. That is added to the capital, and the matter is over then and there. It is not carried forward to the next year. Why the assets and liabilities are carried forward to the next year? Because next year also either you will pay that money or you will receive money from them, and there will be further transactions. So there is a need of taking them to the next year. See, somebody bought goods on 26th December, will pay in January. So in January, you should know how much is receivable of the last year. Similarly, you bought goods on credit in December, so you should know how much liability is there of previous year, so that it can be cleared in the next accounting period. Therefore, assets and liabilities are carried forward to the next year. Expenses and revenues are closed in the same accounting period. Difference between expenses and revenue is calculated, which will either be profit or loss. If profit, will be added to the capital in case of a sole trader, or if there is a loss, will be subtracted from capital. In case of a company, we will have 3-4 options. We will pay taxes, we will pay dividend, we will retain something. This is what will happen to the profit. So the closing entries will be applicable only and only to the expenses and revenue account. Why expenses and revenue account? Because we want to close them. We want to compare the both expenses and revenue and find out the profit or loss, which was our purpose. Having explained to you this, look at any of the revenue account or expense account. I was asking you revenue account. So revenue is sales account. Sales account is revenue. Which balance will it have? You are right. It will have a credit balance. You want to bring this balance to zero. Suppose in the sales account, there is a credit balance of rupees 1,000. When, under what condition this balance will be zero? If anything equivalent to 1,000 is posted in debit side.
Debit side.
You are right. What will you post in the debit side? You will post profit and loss account, because this balance, this total of rupees 1,000 is being carried forward to profit and loss account. So you will make an entry, sales account debit to profit and loss account. When sales account is debit, you will post the entry in debit side of sales account. So you will pass an entry, sales account debit to profit and loss account. When you post this entry to sales account, in debit side, profit loss account will be posted and the balance will become zero. Balance in sales account will become zero. So wherever there is a debit balance, you will post equivalent credit in the ledger, and wherever there is a credit balance in any of these accounts, you will post equivalent debit. As a result, the balance in all these accounts will become zero. This is what you do when it comes to passing the closing entries. All those accounts, I'll once again say, all those revenue accounts which naturally will have credit balance, you will post in each account a debit entry in the name of profit and loss. All expenses account will have a debit balance. Therefore, you will post entry in the credit side in the name of profit and loss account. As a result, all these accounts will be closed. There will be no balance in those accounts. When there is no balance, you will not carry forward those balances to the next year accounting period. So you close the entry. This is the reason that entries in the profit loss account appears in the name of these revenue and expenses.
In this PL account, there are two profit, gross profit and net profit.
Correct, correct.
So what is the difference between, and which profit is carried over to balance sheet? You said we have to carry.
Okay, I got it. Just now, you or somebody asked me the difference between direct and indirect expenses. So when we subtract all direct expenses, once again, when we take into consideration only all direct expenses, difference between income and these expenses is known as your gross profit. Is known as gross profit. When from gross profit you subtract all indirect expenses or rest of the expenses, after direct only rest of the expenses will be indirect, then the balancing figure or the difference becomes your net profit. From net profit, you pay taxes, you pay dividend, and whatever remains that you carry forward, add it to your capital, or that becomes your reserve for capital. In case of a sole trader, that increases the capital. I will repeat, from the sales revenue, from your total income, if you subtract all direct expenses, all direct, the difference becomes gross profit. From gross profit, subtract all remaining expenses, you get net profit. Net profit will be added to the capital of a sole trader or capital of partners, or in case of company, will be distributed among the shareholder in the form of dividend, entire profit, or some can be distributed and some can be retained as a reserve for future purposes.
And so
So this is how we, yes.
net profit is written on expense side, right?
Sorry?
Net profit is to be written on expense side.
Okay, good question. Why is it written on expense side? No, it is written on expense side. You are absolutely right. But why is it written on expense side? It is not an expense. It is your income. Income is always credited. Yes. Can anyone answer? Net profit, even gross profit, both these figures appear on expense side. It is a fact. The question is, why does it happen when expenses are always debited? Just now, maybe half an hour ago, I explained to you ledgers, isn't it? I explained to you the calculation of balances in each ledger account. See, it is appearing on expense side to balance the account because your income side was more. When income side was more, only then the balancing figure will appear on the expense side. Consider your income side as plus, consider your expense side as minus. So profit in this case is plus or minus? Profit is plus or minus in this case? It is plus.
Minus.
It is
It is plus.
It is plus because plus side was more. Now take accounting language. Because credit side was more, therefore it is appearing in debit side balancing figure. Because credit was more, therefore it is appearing in credit side. Because revenue was more, that is why it is appearing in expense side to balance the account. It is a balancing figure. Your gross profit or net profit are balancing figures. means you are taking difference between two sides. Which side was more? Revenue side was more. That means it is a profit. If expense side is more, it will be loss that will appear on the credit side. Is it clear now? Okay, okay.
So what would we do with the difference of all the total of the profits and total losses?
Profit or loss, it will be either of the two. Let me explain with profit. Suppose there was a profit in a year. If profit was there in a year, you want to know about the company or about sole trader? Let me explain to you both. With respect to sole trader, if there was a profit, it will be added to capital and we will have only one figure of capital. Profit and loss will disappear. In case there was a loss, it will be subtracted from capital and we will have revised figure of capital. Profit or loss will disappear. So you will have only one figure called capital, either increased one because of the transactions or decreased one. Suppose there was a earlier capital was 1000 and there was a profit of 100. So what will happen? Figure of capital will change from 1000 to 1100. If there is a loss of 100, the figure of capital will change from 1000 to 900. So we will have only one figure of capital. It will not be carried forward to the next year. Now talk about the company. There was a profit and profit has not been distributed. Suppose assume that profit has not been distributed. So you will have reserve and surplus. Next year also same thing happens. You will have reserve and surplus added to the previous years and you will continue creating reserves. You will continue adding. Hold on for a second. Mm-hmm. 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 दे दो फिर पेज. हाँ दे. In fact, for today, as it was not planned in advance, so I had some other. That is why there is some kind of disturbance in between. Okay. In case of a company, same thing is applicable to the losses also. Talking about the company, there is a loss. What you will do? You will record loss, write it in the asset side, as explained to you as a fictitious asset. Again, there is a loss in the next year. You will again record it in the asset side, accumulated loss. Again, there are losses. So losses will be accumulated year after year, and you will continue showing them in your statement, in your balance sheet. Year after year, you will continue adding. In case there is a profit, this loss will be reduced. If the profit is much more than the accumulated losses, then there will be a profit shown in the balance sheet. So you will carry it forward to several years. You can carry it forward to coming several years. In case of company, you will continue accumulating either profit or loss. So naturally, a company which is highly profitable, there will be huge reserves in its balance sheet. A company which is less profitable, there will be less reserve. A company which is into losses, there will be losses appearing in the balance sheet of the company in the asset side. Yes. Any questions here?
Sir, so in balance sheet we have drawing terms. So what does it mean and what is its significance?
Drawings. The
Yes.
word drawing is applicable for a sole trader or a partnership firm, not for the company. I repeat the sentence. Drawings are applicable in case of a partnership or in case of a sole trader. Drawing means the capital which the owners introduced, part of it they wish to take it back. Suppose they introduce 1 lakh rupees, they wish to withdraw 5,000 rupees. So this will be called as drawings and it will be subtracted from their capital. Capital appears in which side of balance sheet? Liability side. So they will write capital. From that, they will subtract drawings and to that they will add profit. Final figure of capital will be written in the final column of balance sheet in case of a sole trader or partnership. But this is not applicable in case of a company. Once you have invested money in the company, means once You have bought shares in the company. There is no concept called drawings. What do you do in case you wish to get back your money?
Sell the shares.
Sorry,
Sell the
Is-
shares.
you can sell the shares. Very true. Because there is no company which has such restriction that you can invest and you cannot take back. Nobody will invest. So in case of a company, you have bought the shares, you have bought 100 shares, you want to take back 10. So you sell 10 shares. You want to sell 100, all 100, you can sell all 100. Isn't it? Okay. The shares that you bought, will you sell at a higher price or lower price?
Higher price generally.
Higher price. If the share prices are falling, will you sell or you will not?
We will hold.
You will hold. Okay. Another question, especially from ladies, especially from girls. If the share prices are falling, you will hold, you will not sell. If the gold prices are falling, ornament, jewelry, this Bandhan Bunde and all, will you buy gold or you will hold? Your decision.
Buy.
You will buy. So why is it that when share prices fall, you don't buy more shares? You hold. You don't neither sell nor will you hold. And when the gold prices fall, you buy. Why is it?
Gold comes to us as an asset.
But shares are also your asset. Are not these gold shares your asset?
But if we sell them, then we have to pay. We have to.
No, I'm not asking you sell them. I'm asking buy. If the
We are
share
not-
price- if the share
Yeah.
prices fall, do you buy or you don't?
No, sir.
Okay, but why do you buy gold when the gold prices fall down?
Because it is a physical asset, it comes to us and we can keep it and use it later on when prices increases.
Same thing you can do with shares also.
So there is a certainty with gold that prices will increase, but not with the shares.
And sir, there is one more thing that gold cannot be produced in unlimited quantities. It is
Say
it's
it
from
again.
the,
Gold cannot be. Again, say it, Kazan. Gold.
the gold cannot be produced in unlimited quantities. It is taken from the earth only, so it is a limited in limited amount. But in case of shares, it is unlimited. We can have as much as shares we can buy.
Okay. Are you sure about this statement that you have made about gold? It cannot be produced in unlimited quantity. Are we sure that quantity of gold or silver is limited?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You have to search again. The only and only commodity in the world, the supply of which is more or less proportional to the demand. There are two things, demand and supply. There is a third thing, availability. Demand, supply. What is the third concept? Availability. Is there a difference between supply and availability?
So supply depends on availability.
Supply depends on availability. Okay. Any other? This is an ethical question, not an accounting question. The difference, the question I asked, is there a difference between supply and availability?
Sir, supply can be controlled, availability cannot be controlled.
Okay. Supply of petrol. The prices of petrol increase because of non-availability or because of less supply?
So less supply.
So
Yes.
non-availability.
Non-availability. Which one is correct? The OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. The supply of petrol and petroleum product is less or availability is less?
So the OPEC controls the supply.
Okay. I'm saying, is it unlimited or artificially caused?
So artificially caused.
Artificially caused. So what is related to gold? There are three terms: demand, supply, and availability. You think over them. We may perhaps have a discussion of these things in a class other than accounting. Otherwise, we will not be in a position to. But I'm open. I'll be happy to. discuss these aspects. It is more to do with ethics than accounting or economics or something. I'll take up these things maybe sometimes later, whenever we get time, once we are through with our at least designated work.
Sir, I think it has something to do with the GDP of the country also.
I said earlier, and I'll continue to maintain, nothing to do with GDP. Nothing to do with GDP, I'm telling you. Even
Sir, they limit the supply to control the prices.
who?
Sir, or like OPEC and or the supplying bodies.
Okay. You also think on one more lines. I told you about gold and silver, isn't it? What are these? These are metals. There are other metals also, like zinc, like iron, like steel, like, there are several other metals also. Is there a difference between the way prices of gold and silver are governed compared to other metals? And I mean, let us leave it here. But do keep in mind, we will discuss it maybe in some other class meant only for this purpose. Now, somebody asked about the balancing of accounting equation. Okay, balancing of accounting equation. You remember what is accounting equation? A is equal to C plus L. Now, give me the transaction. I'll explain to you. In this transaction, your equation is balanced. But before you do that, you try to refresh the rules of accounting equation. Do you remember the rules? There are three elements: asset, capital, and liability. What is the rule for asset?
Sir, increase in asset is shown as debit,
Correct.
and decrease in asset is shown as credit.
Credit. Now, if you remember, just Aditya, if you remember just one rule,
Yes, sir.
you remember just one rule, that increase in asset is debited. Just remember one rule. Then the rest will automatically follow.
Yes,
If increase in asset is debited, increase in liability,
Credit.
credit, because it falls on the other side of equation. Increase in capital,
Credit.
increase in liability,
Credit.
Credit.
decrease in liability,
Debit.
Debit.
decrease in asset,
Debit.
Credit.
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 Because when increase is debit, decrease is to be credit. Okay, fine, that you remember all, very good. Now give me a transaction, I'll explain how to balance the equation, or in which way do you want me to explain this balancing of accounting equation? You want me to explain this, or in fact the question needs a bit elaboration. There are transactions which take place. At the end of each transaction, our equation remains balanced. So we may have as many transactions as we want, but our equation will never be disturbed. Both sides will always be equal. So we can take up a transaction and explain. Should I take transaction, or you want me to explain the transactions of your choice? Better that I.
So,
Yes.
so
Suresh, please.
dishonor transactions are not recorded in general entry. Is that so?
Can you please tell me again?
The dishonored transactions, just like check dishonored, are
Okay,
not recorded in general entries. Is that
Is
so?
it okay? Just read. Is it a transaction or not? Okay. Forget about the accounting as a language of business. Let us talk about something which ordinary people speak. Dishonor of a check. Dishonor of a check is the second step. Prior to that, there will be one more step. And what is that? Receiving a check. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you sold your old laptop to somebody, and that somebody gave you a check. Is transaction complete from your point of view? We are not talking about the accounting, not at all. We are talking only as a layman, as ordinary person. Somebody gave you a check, because you sold him your old laptop for 30,000 rupees. Is the transaction for you complete or not?
No, sir.
When will it be complete?
When there is money in our account.
Very true. When money is taken out of his account and transferred to your account. Suppose that did not happen. You went to bank, you deposited the check, and bank informed you the check has been dishonored. What do? Leave again accounting part, forget about accounting. As an individual, as a person, what will you do? What will you do? Reshu, what will you do if in case this happens?
So can you repeat?
क्या तुम चाय वाय पीने चली गई थी?
No, sir.
अच्छा, चेक डिसऑनर हो गया, बैंक ने इन्फॉर्म किया, तुम क्या करोगी?
I'll ask him again to send a proper check.
You will ask him again to. अब इसके लिए कि तुम भूल ना जाओ, तो तुम उसको लिखोगी कि नहीं लिखोगी?
Yes, sir.
ये तो तुम्हारा एक ट्रांजैक्शन है, कंपनी में तो 1 लाख ट्रांजैक्शन होते नहीं है, न मालूम कितने चेक डिसऑनर हो गए, कुछ हो गया, तो इसलिए आदमी जो है उसको लिख लेता, कंपनी राइट्स. तो when a company receives a check, it writes, it records. What does it record? It increases its bank, because bank balance, under the assumption bank balance will increase. So company debits its bank because bank balance would have increased had this check been honored. When the bank balance has not increased, company will credit bank, will make a reverse entry. When company receives a check from somebody, company debits bank and credits the person's account. Company debits bank and credits the person's account. When the check has been dishonored, company will once again credit bank and debit the person's account. Why will it debit? Because the person still is its asset, and increase in asset is to be debited. Company earlier increased its asset in the form of bank, now it is decreasing because that did not materialize. So dishonor of a check has to be recorded, just a reverse entry. An opposite entry is to be passed, which you passed earlier.
Okay, sir.
Any other question here? Okay. What all I would request all of you, right now 32 of you are present, you may have several questions coming to your mind. Like the one Reshu just now asked, will the dishonored check be recorded? Somebody asked how to identify this. Several good questions all of you have asked. Really, I mean, good questions all. So you keep an inventory of those questions. You record all those questions in your notebook, in your notepad, whichever media you are comfortable with, record. Post all of them in the group. This is what the meaning, this is what the purpose of creating an official group is. Don't exchange, you are not really good, it's good, I appreciate. We are not exchanging any jokes or exchanging any public information. We are confined, because otherwise the purpose will not be served. So you continue asking such questions, posting such questions and I keep a track on all those questions and your discussions. And at times I suggest something, I agree, I disagree, I maybe send an explanatory note. So or if you are for any reason shy of asking questions in the group, you post that question to me on my private message. I will immediately respond to you. So there is no, unless you ask, how will you learn? So continue posting them in the group. It will be for your good. Now next, somebody asked me how to identify real, nominal and real, nominal and personal account. Okay, real account is what? Okay, start with personal account. What is a personal account? Which is associated with a name of a person. Your account, my account, university's account, State Bank of India's account, Reliance account. These are all personal account. And what is the rule of personal account?
Debit receiver, credit giver.
Yes, because a person can only be receiver or giver. Person will not come in or go out, isn't it? Sorry. So coming or going out will be applicable to other account, not personal. Personal means debit receiver, credit giver. What is real account? Something which we can physically see and physically touch and physically verify. Like cash, building. This is your real account. So real account, the rule will be debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Only things can come and go out. Things can come in the business, can go out of business. Person cannot. Therefore, this is a real account. Any account which belongs to other than these two categories will be your nominal account. What could be those other accounts which are neither person nor assets or nor things? What could be the other accounts?
Sales and purchases.
Yes, say it again loudly.
Sales and purchases.
Sales. No, if you are writing sales, what do you sell?
So goods.
Can be seen or not?
Yes, sir.
So then real or nominal?
Real.
Real. Give me example of nominal account.
So interest paid.
Interest, just interest. Interest is your nominal account. Interest paid. In what form did you pay interest? Cash or bank?
So bank.
Bank.
Bank. The bank become personal account. Interest become nominal account. Expenses. Any expense. Salary. Can you see salary? Or you cannot?
No.
No, sir.
If I say you are receiving salary in cash, I can see cash. Then what is
Yes,
salary
sir.
account? What is salary account? Real or nominal?
The salary is expense, and that's why it is a nominal account.
Okay. Salary is an expense, that is why it is a nominal account. But because salary we are paying cash, so cash is a real account. Because every transaction will have minimum 2 accounts involved, or one account may be involved twice. Either 2 accounts involved, real personal, real nominal, or one account twice. Now give me example where one account is being involved twice, real account involved twice.
So selling of goods in cash.
Okay. Real account involved twice. A very simple example: purchased goods in cash. Cash is real, goods is real. Okay, let me ask the question asked by Varis. In case of services, okay, which service? Tell me. Salary was service that you are rendering or you are receiving. Consulting services. You hired a consultant, paid him 10,000 rupees. So what is this in this account, Varis? You hired a consultant and you paid him 10,000 rupees. What are the 2 accounts?
Nominal, sir.
Yes, one is nominal. What is nominal? Consulting services is nominal. What is the other account? You will pay either in cash or in credit.
It's real.
No. If you pay in cash, it is real. If you pay through bank, it is personal. So you will have to think in these lines. Every transaction will have 2 effects. When we are talking about kinds of account, either one account will be affected twice, or one real, one nominal, one personal, one nominal, one real. Can a nominal account be affected twice? I gave you an example of real account being affected twice. That is purchase of furniture. So cash and furniture both are real account. One is coming, the other one is going out. The question I have asked you in this example, one account being affected twice. So personal account is possible. Okay, is it possible in a personal account? Is it possible in a nominal account? See, if you think it logically, the answer will automatically be there. I am leaving you with this question. Think over it. Then somebody asked side of test year. Okay, true and false slide of the test year of the test that
Sir, I have a question.
Where? Yes.
Sir, if there is a question like goods returned by Neeru of cash 150, then there are 3 components, sir. Goods return, Neeru, and cash. Which 2 of these will we choose for the general entry?
Okay. Goods returned by Meeru, rupees 150. Okay. How many elements are being affected? Do you want me kinds of account or equation?
Sir, kinds of accounts.
kinds of account. Goods returned, Miru, rupees 150. How many elements are there?
Sir, there are goods return Niru and
Okay.
cash also.
Tell me one by one. Which is one? Which is first one? Goods.
Sales return
Okay, goods. I have written sales return number 1. Which is the second one?
Niru.
Second one is Niru. Miru.
Yes, sir.
What is the third one? If there is any?
Sir, if there is mentioned 150 cash, then there is cash account also.
Okay, I have written cash because you are saying. Okay, now once again say, are there 3 or 2?
Sir, this is in what I am confused.
Okay, I'll remove your confusion. Goods, can you see goods being coming back to the organization? Can you see them? Can you physically verify?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so goods is pakka, 100% sure, one element. Finish with this one. Coming or going out?
Goods are coming in.
Coming in, debit. What will you
Yes.
debit?
Goods sales return.
Sales return will be debited. This part is over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is second? Miru. Who is giving goods? Miru.
Niru is returning the goods.
Niru is receiver or giver?
Giver of the goods, sir.
Giver of the goods. So giver will be debited or credited?
Credited.
Credited. So 2 things we have done. Sales
Yes, sir.
return debit, Niru credit.
Credit.
Now you said there is a third one also, cash. Is cash coming in or going out?
Cash is going out.
Are you, when he is giving you goods, are you paying back cash to him?
Yes, sir. If he is returning.
No, you should be clear what is happening.
Okay.
If he is returning goods, are you paying him cash then and there, or you will pay him at a later date? What is the situation?
Sir, on spot.
On the spot. Then the transaction will not be like this good returned by Niru. Then if on the spot you are paying, then Miru will not be giver of goods because Miru is taking cash. Is it a
Yes.
credit transaction or a cash transaction?
Sir, cash transaction.
That means it was a cash transaction. See, he will return only when he buy from you.
Yes, sir.
He bought in cash or credit?
Sir, cash.
In cash. When he bought in cash, would you have mentioned his name?
No, sir.
No. Then why should you mention it now?
Sir, I saw a question and I was confused to make it
No,
general
good.
entry.
Now the question should be clear. Suppose I say paid salary of rupees 1000 to manager Mr. Sharma. I repeat, paid salary of rupees 1000 to manager Mr. Sharma. In this entry, shall we write the name of Sharma? Shall we debit or credit Sharma or not?
No, sir. Salaries account and cash account.
Salary. Why not Sharma? Because nothing to do in future with Sharma.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, if goods are being returned and cash is being given, will you do anything with Mr. Neeraj next time?
No, sir.
Nothing will be receivable, nothing will be payable. Therefore, Miru's name will not appear. Miru name will appear only if it is a credit transaction. If it is a cash transaction, his name will not appear.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Fine. Now let me clarify your other questions. Now, true and false slide. Who asked this question? Let me check if I need to open, just 1 second. I need to open day, was it included in the day 9 to 20 or 1 to 10?
9 to 20.
It was included in 9 to 20. Okay, let me open that slide, check if it is available in the system. If it is available, I'll just 1 second. I opened it, a different file. It was available in day 9 to 20
The previous
Yes, sir.
slide of 9 to 20 earlier you sent.
earlier. Okay, let me check. Because
So you posted it in Google Classroom on 8th March.
no, I'm just trying to find out where it is in the system, because unless I show you this slide, I cannot. If you can share that slide, I can explain it immediately. Can you share that slide? Is it possible to share that slide?
Yes.
Okay, any one of you can share that slide and I will explain that. Yes, I will allow you to share. Varis, where is your slide? मेरे डाटा भी आ रहा हूँ अभी आता हूँ I mean, Varis, the screen is not seen.
Sorry.
Varis, your screen is not appearing. Just 1 second, 1 second. Varis, where is your screen?
So I will start sharing if you want me to.
No, you can share only once you send me a request for sharing. You are sharing, presenting to everyone. Which screen can you?
Sir, I will place a request. Wait.
Okay, do that. I'll. If that slide is visible, I can show it. Oh yes, sir. Go ahead. Continue.
Wait, sir.
Which? Yes. Take your time. Okay. Hold on here. I think we can manage. Is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes.
Sir.
So, I mean, is
Sir,
it
yes.
visible? Faizan, the screen is visible. To me, it is visible. So, should be visible to all of you.
Yes, sir. It is. Yes, sir.
Oh, good, fine. So, you wanted me to explain. Okay, if the asset increases, another asset decreases. Possible or not? See, the simple way of attempting it could be, think of a situation where your asset is increasing. When will your asset increase? Maybe you are receiving cash. Okay. If asset increases, another asset decreases. You are receiving cash, maybe from bank. You are withdrawing money from bank. So your asset is increasing, your another asset is decreasing. So this is true or false? This is very much true. Second, if asset is increasing, your liability increases. Under what condition? You can start either from here or from here. You are receiving goods, your asset is increasing. You are receiving furniture, your asset is increasing, but you are receiving it on credit. So your liability increases. Is that right? So it is also true.
Yes, sir.
When asset increases, what else could be the possibility? Capital increases, you can write. You are receiving interest from somebody. You are receiving rent from somebody. So what is rent? It is your revenue. Rent can be expenses if it is paid. Rent can be income if you receive. So you are receiving rent. So your capital is increasing. So you can write capital increases. If I write here, if asset increases, and then I write here in C, capital decreases. Capital decreases. Then it becomes a case of false. It is not true. Sorry. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
If there are still doubt, don't feel shy, just ask me. If a liability decreases, another asset increases, is it possible?
Sir,
Yes.
Sir,
Reshu.
so if asset increases, then how could capital increase?
Okay. Suppose you have extra building which you have let out, you are receiving rent. Your asset is increasing because you are receiving cash or check. And what is rent?
Yes, sir.
What is rent? Income or expense?
So income,
Income increasing capital or decreasing?
increase capital.
Bus, so your
Okay,
capital will
okay,
increase.
okay.
Now, if liability decreases, एक सेकंड होल्ड करो, एक सेकंड बेटा यहाँ पे। Oh, sorry for the interruption. We come to this liability decreases. When your liability decreases, when you pay back your liability. Am I right? Then under what conditions will your liability decrease? When you pay back, when you return, you
When
borrowed
another-
money and you have paid. So when liability decreases, can your asset increase? Part A. Can asset
Yes.
increase?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how can your asset increase? See, I'm saying when your liability decreases. Liability कब decrease होती है? आपने लोन लिया किसी से, आपने वापस कर दिया, तभी तो liability decrease होगी.
Asset decreases. Yes.
तो जब आप तो asset decrease होगी इसमें या increase होगी?
Decrease.
इसका मतलब ये false है. Okay. अगर एक liability decrease हो तो liability increases, तो ये possible है कि फिर liability increase हो जाए?
ट्रू।
क्यों ट्रू होगा बताइए?
किसी से लेकर दूसरे को लोन वापस कर दिया।
किसी से लेके किसी को वापस किया। क्या बताइए, इनका जवाब ठीक है या इनका जवाब गलत है? दूसरे लोग बताएं।
सब गलत है।
अच्छा, क्यों गलत है ये भी बताइए, खाली ये मत बताइए गलत है, क्यों गलत है ये भी बताइए। इन्होंने ये जवाब दिया कि ये पॉसिबल इसलिए है किसी से लोन लेके किसी को दे दिया, तो इनका जवाब गलत क्यों है?
दूसरी लायबिलिटी बढ़ जाएगी, we have to pay back the amount.
नहीं, जवाब इसलिए गलत है कि ये दो डिफरेंट ट्रांजैक्शन हैं। एक ट्रांजैक्शन में आपने लोन लिया किसी से, दूसरे ट्रांजैक्शन में किसी को दिया, तो दोनों ट्रांजैक्शन अलग अलग एनालाइज किए जाएंगे। इसलिए इसका जो सेकंड पार्ट है, पार्ट बी, इफ लायबिलिटी डिक्रीजेस इन द सेम ट्रांजैक्शन अदर लायबिलिटी कैन नॉट इंक्रीज, इट विल बी ए डिफरेंट ट्रांजैक्शन। देन इफ लायबिलिटी डिक्रीजेस, क्या होगा? दूसरा सेंटेंस क्या होगा सी में?
Asset also decreases.
Asset also decreases. Assets also decreases. If owner's equity increases, capital increase होती, asset decrease होगी कि increase होगी? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, 6 I have explained. These 3 I'll tell you. You just use it as a student of mathematics. Write it as the equation A is equal to C plus L. Write 10 rupees plus in the capital side. Correct? Write plus 10 in capital side. And if you write minus 10 in the asset side, will the equation balance?
नो सर।
That means it is false. Write 10 plus in the asset side, will the equation balance?
यस सर।
It is true, isn't it? Same thing you can apply here also. Assuming that you are not dealing with accounting and you are dealing with mathematics, equation of that you must have studied in class 6 or 7. ये पढ़ा था नहीं, x plus y is equal to 30 and y, ये सब तो बहुत कॉमन सी चीजें हैं. Okay, try to test these 3 in that way. When goods are destroyed by fire, which account is debited and which account is credited?
Loss is debited,
Okay, and what will you credit?
goods.
Goods will be credited. और stock, true term for this is stock in trade. Goods आप उसको कहिए जिसको सेल कर रहे हैं या बाई कर रहे हैं, तो जो ऐसी चीज है जो कि एक्सेप्शनल है वो दैट इज योर स्टॉक इन ट्रेड. ओके, और बताइए इसमें, और थोड़ा सा ऊपर करिए इसको, कुछ और भी है इसके अंदर? यस, व्हेन सैलरीज हैव बीन क्रेडिटेड इन बैंक. यस, बोलो बताओ.
Sir, if we pay a loan of a person that we have taken and then take another loan from the same person, it would be a...
एक रेशो, वेट करो. एक ट्रांजैक्शन ये इसमें कंप्लीट है इन इटसेल्फ. इफ वी टेक अ लोन फ्रॉम समबडी, इट इज अ कंप्लीट ट्रांजैक्शन, borrowed money from ABC. recorded
Yes,
cash
sir.
debit to ABC, then
Yes, sir.
उसको return किया ABC debit to cash, then again borrowed him, then again cash debit to ABC. ये 3 ट्रांजेक्शन हो गए. ABC से पैसा लिया, नंबर 1, ABC को पैसा वापस किया, नंबर 2, फिर ABC से दोबारा पैसा लिया, 3. इन तीनों को
Okay,
आप
sir.
अलग अलग
Okay.
एनालाइज करेंगे तो आसानी हो जाएगी. हर एक में आप इंटरेस्ट भी डाल दीजिए इफ यू आर
Okay, sir.
इंटरेस्टेड. ए से लोन लिया, उसको वापस किया, इंटरेस्ट भी दिया. ए से दोबारा लोन लिया, फिर उसको इंटरेस्ट देंगे. तो जो मैंने चौथा अकाउंट का फिर उसको इंटरेस्ट देंगे, इसकी क्या एंट्री होगी? आप सबने सुना मैंने क्या कहा? ए से पैसा लिया, आप सुन रहे हैं ना?
Yes, sir.
उसको इंटरेस्ट देंगे, उसको इंटरेस्ट देंगे. क्या एंट्री होगी इस लास्ट ट्रांजैक्शन की?
Interest debit to XYZ.
और कोई बताइए, जुबैर तुम बताओ, हमजा. अभी खान साहब मौजूद हो कि नहीं?
जी सर.
हाँ, अब देखो मैं चेक करता रहूंगा मुस्तकिल. बताओ क्या एंट्री होगी इसकी? कोई और बताए? ट्रांजैक्शन क्लियर है? मैंने क्या कहा था?
Please repeat once again.
अरे भाई, तो पहले पूछ लिया होता. ABC से पैसा लिया, उसको इंटरेस्ट देंगे. इस ट्रांजैक्शन की एंट्री में जाता हूं, उसको इंटरेस्ट देंगे.
Interest will be debited to ABC.
और भाई अगर कैश में दें तो?
Sir, interest account debit to cash account, right?
अभी इसका मैं जवाब आपको नहीं बता रहा, आप थोड़ा और सोच लीजिए, ठीक है ना? थोड़ा और सोच लीजिए. और बाय द वे ये जवाब आपका गलत है. इतना मैंने आपको बता दिया. इस वक्त 32 लोग हैं, 32 में से किसी एक को तो सही बताना चाहिए कि इसका जवाब क्या होगा. सवाल तो क्लियर है ना आपको?
जी
सवाल
सर.
क्लियर है?
Yes, sir.
और अगर सवाल क्लियर है तो आप आज को, आप 32 के 32 लोगों को मैं पूरा दिन दे रहा हूँ. आप बल्कि इसको, आपके तो बहुत इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप जरूर होते हैं, हर क्लास के होते हैं, तो आप अपने इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप में भी डिस्कस कर लीजिए. आप गूगल पे सर्च कर लीजिए, अकाउंटिंग की जितनी भी दुनिया भर में किताबें हैं सब पढ़ लीजिए. और आप जब पढ़ चुके हैं तो मुझे प्राइवेटली मैसेज कीजिए कि इस ट्रांजैक्शन की ये एंट्री होगी. बात क्लियर हो गई?
Sir, interest is paid to ABC in cash, right, sir?
मेरा सवाल तो दोहराइए, क्या सवाल था? ये आप जवाब बता रहे हैं ना?
Sir, नहीं.
और सवाल?
Question, yes, sir.
क्वेश्चन मैंने क्या किया था बताइए? मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था, ABC से 1000 रुपये उधार लिए, उनको 10%, 20%, 8%, जो भी आप परसेंटेज चाहें, इंटरेस्ट देंगे. और एक सवाल और, आप ये सवाल क्लियर हो गया ना? आप एक सवाल और सोचिए. अलीगढ़ में इंटरेस्ट लोग कितने परसेंट चार्ज करते हैं? यूजुअली कितने परसेंट चार्ज करते हैं? अंदाजा आप बताइए कितने परसेंट चार्ज करते होंगे?
3%.
6%.
देखिए, ये आपका जवाब अभी इनकम्प्लीट है. जब भी आप परसेंटेज कहेंगे, इट शुड बी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. 6% पर एनम, या पर मंथ और पर डे और पर वीक क्या होता?
3% per month.
3% इसका मतलब 36% पर एनम.
Yes, sir. Per annum.
ओके, और कोई बताए?
19% per annum.
19% पर एनम. और बताओ. चलिए,
Sir, 9 to 12% per annum.
9 to 12%. इस पे और कीजिए. खास करके वो लोग और करें जो लोग शहर में रहते हैं या शहर से गुजरते हैं. आप लोगों में से बाराद्वारी कितने लोग गए हैं? 32 लोगों में से बाराद्वारी का नाम सुना है?
Yes, sir.
सुना है. तो अब आप, मेरा सवाल और कन्फाइंड हो गया. वो लोग, वैसे तो आप सबके सब सोच सकते हैं, लेकिन वो लोग, इसका आंसर मुमकिन है, बहुत पॉसिबिलिटी है कि करेक्ट दे दें, जो लोग शहर में रहते हैं, बाराद्वारी की तरफ अक्सर जाते हैं, या और इस तरफ. ये काफ़ी हिंट हो गया. फिर बताइएगा. आप 2 सवालों पे मैं आपको छोड़ रहा हूँ. एक सवाल तो वो 1000 रुपये इंटरेस्ट देंगे जिनको भी देना है, और दूसरा ये इंटरेस्ट मैक्सिमम कितना चार्ज कर सकते हैं। एक
Sir,
हाँ बताओ।
sir, can it be cash account and interest or debit to ABC?
स्टिल इनकरेक्ट, स्टिल इनकरेक्ट। कोई बात नहीं, आपको टाइम मिल रहा है, बहुत सारा टाइम मिल रहा है। सारे ये मान लीजिए ओपन बुक एग्जामिनेशन। चलिए अब आप आ जाइए, आपने पूछा था एक किसी ने एक्रूवल कॉन्सेप्ट। एक्रूवल कॉन्सेप्ट ये होता है कि व्हेन यू रिकॉर्ड द ट्रांजैक्शन the day or the moment it is completed, you do not wait for the actual money to be received or for actual money to be paid. जैसे मैंने अभी एग्जांपल दिया था किसी को, आपको सपोज आपने लैपटॉप सेल किया तो ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्लीट हो गया, चाहे चेक मिला आपको या नहीं मिला। आपने किसी से सामान खरीदा, आप बाद में पे करेंगे कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्लीट हो गया। मैंने यूनिवर्सिटी में 1 महीने तक पढ़ाया, 31 तारीख को या 28 तारीख को जैसे भी कुछ है, मेरी सैलरी यूनिवर्सिटी में ड्यू हो गई। यूनिवर्सिटी रिकॉर्ड कर लेगी कि भाई इनको हमें सैलरी देनी है, वो मेरे नाम में पेबल हो जाएगी। जब पे करेगी यूनिवर्सिटी तो करेगी। मुझे सैलरी नहीं मिली, कभी कभी तारीख को, 3 तारीख को, 4 तारीख को सैलरी मिलती, लेकिन रिकॉर्ड कब होगा? 31 जनवरी को या 28 फरवरी को। तो ये एक्रूवल कॉन्सेप्ट ये कहता है कि रिकॉर्ड द ट्रांजैक्शन व्हेन इट इज कंप्लीट, वी डू नॉट हैव टू वेट फॉर द एक्चुअल कैश और चेक टू बी रिसीव्ड और पेड। ये एक्रूवल कॉन्सेप्ट होता है। आप में से किसी ने मालूम किया था पेइंग टैक्सेस, हाउ विल इट बी रिकॉर्डेड फॉर ए सोल ट्रेडर बिजनेस? देखिए बहुत सिंपल है। टैक्स क्या है आपका? एक्सपेंस है, रेवेन्यू है, असेट है, लायबिलिटी है, क्या है? एक्सपेंस होने के नाते इसे आप डेबिट करेंगे, क्रेडिट?
डेबिट।
डेबिट।
तो टैक्स अकाउंट डेबिट, एक चीज तो क्लियर हो गई। अब दूसरा आप टैक्स कैसे, अब क्रेडिट क्या करेंगे? टैक्स डेबिट ये तो क्लियर होगी, आपने खुद ही बताया, मैंने नहीं बताया, आपने खुद ही बताया। क्रेडिट क्या करेंगे ये भी बता दीजिए, जवाब हो जाएगा। जी बताओ फैजान।
क्रेडिट
क्या क्रेडिट करेंगे? क्लियर नहीं हुई बात।
कैश।
अगर हमने कैश में पे किया तो कैश करेंगे, और अगर चेक से पे किया है तो
बैंक अकाउंट,
बैंक कर देंगे। 100% केसेस में ये बैंक ही होगा। आपने किसी आदमी को देखा कि वो इनकम टैक्स ऑफिस में कैश भर के एक बोरी ले जा रहा है और वहाँ पे कर रहा है?
सर इनकम टैक्स वाला क्वेश्चन मैंने पूछा था, तो आई रेड द ट्रांजैक्शन यस्टरडे, सो उसमें लिखा था पेड इनकम टैक्स, बट द एंट्री वाज गिवन एज ड्राइंग्स अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश, सो आई डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट।
ना ज़ैनब, उससे पहले ये होगा कि हमने अपने कैपिटल से पैसा निकाला और उससे हमने टैक्स पे किया, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। एनीवे आप ऐसा कर लीजिए, उसका स्नैपशॉट मुझे आप व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिए। हो सकता है कहीं मेरे सुनने में गलती हो रही हो, कहीं आपके कहने में कुछ चीज़ मिस हो रही हो, क्योंकि देखिए एक कॉमा फुल स्टॉप अगर आपने चेंज कर दिया तो उससे मतलब बदल जाए। आप मुझे एग्जैक्ट प्रिंट करके उसका जो भी है स्नैपशॉट मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिए, ग्रुप में ही कर दीजिए, तो मैं चेक कर लूँगा। 3-4 पॉसिबिलिटी मैं चेक करके आपको बताऊँगा कि क्या सही होना चाहिए। मेरा सवाल था कि टैक्स जो है हमेशा चेक से ही पे होता। क्या आपने कभी किसी आदमी को पैसे ले जाते हुए देखा इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट कैश में पे करने के लिए? चलिए खैर कोई बात नहीं। तो अब आपके जो जितने सवाल किए थे आपने, उनके तो जवाब आपको मिल गए। कोई और सवाल हो तो बताइए।
और कल जो आपने जीएसटी का बताया था, तो उसमें IGST, CGST, all the accounts were debited when the tax was paid, but जो क्रेडिट हो रहा था the 2XYZ सपोज है, तो जब टैक्स पे कर रहे हैं तो फिर कैश नहीं होना चाहिए?
नहीं, वो आप पे कैसे कर रहे हैं? कैश में पे कर रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट को, बैंक से पे कर रहे हैं?
उसमें तो कुछ भी नहीं लिखा था, बस 2 लिखा था।
तो हाँ, अगर नहीं लिखा था फिर भी तो वो गलत है। आप ये सोचिए, बल्कि बताइए, देखिए एक बिजनेसमैन है, जब वो खरीदेगा सामान तो जीएसटी क्या करेगा? पे करेगा ना।
यस सर।
उसने 100 रुपये पे की, जब वो बेचा तो उसे जीएसटी मिलेगा?
यस सर।
उसने 120 रुपये की जीएसटी मिली, ठीक है ना?
यस सर।
तो 20 रुपये का क्या करेगा वो? अगर सपोज इसके अलावा कोई और ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं है तो 20 रुपये का क्या करेगा? 20 रुपये गवर्नमेंट को पे करेगा।
यस सर।
बस, तो अगर पे करेगा गवर्नमेंट को तो कैसे पे करेगा? कैश में या चेक में?
चेक।
तो बैंक क्रेडिट हो जाएगा। यस, एनी अदर ट्रांजैक्शन? अगर नहीं है तो वी विल क्लोज द मीटिंग। और आपके लिए एडवाइजेबल ये है कि जो कुछ आपने सुना, जो कुछ डिस्कस हुआ, अगर आप उसको लिख लें कहीं पर, नोट कर लें, रिकॉर्ड कर लें, उसको रिफ्रेश करें 3-4 मरतबा, तो फिर आपको आइंदा बहुत आसानी होगी, क्योंकि 2 दिन बाद, 3 दिन बाद, 4 दिन बाद आप भूल जाएंगे। और जितने भी सवाल आपके जहन में आते हैं सबको आप नोट करिए, सबको आप ग्रुप में पोस्ट करिए, सबके जवाब सुनिए, तब आपकी लर्निंग और ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव होगी। और जब भी आप चाहें, आई हैव नो इशू, नॉट एट ऑल, जिस वक्त भी आप लोग फ्री हों तो आप तय कर लीजिए। जिस वक्त भी चाहें कि एक्स्ट्रा क्लास, रेमेडियल क्लास हर वक्त हो जाया करेगी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। अप टू यू, जैसा आपको हो आप तय कर लीजिए। मैं टाइम नोट, जब भी आप चाहें मुझे बता दीजिए आप रेमेडियल क्लास चाहते हैं, आई विल अनाउंस और आपको उसी टाइम पे क्लास करें।
सर एक आपने ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग एंट्री में एक बात बताई थी कि टाइम के लिए था कुछ, कि कौन सा आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि जनवरी होगा या फिर 2019 या 2020 होगा टाइम में, क्लास के टाइम, एंड आपने बोला था कि उसको डिस्कस करेंगे बाद में, एंड वो रह गया था।
अच्छा सर, मैं अभी उसको रिलेट नहीं कर पा रहा, दोबारा से बताओ। या तो ये होगा कि भाई हमने 25-26 दिसंबर को सामान खरीदा, पेमेंट हम जनवरी में करेंगे, तो सारी चीज़ें रेकन जो होंगी हमारी वो 31 दिसंबर से होंगी, डे ऑफ क्लोजिंग दी अकाउंट।
सर वो ये था कि जैसे डे ऑफ ओपनिंग एंट्री और क्लोजिंग, सॉरी ओपनिंग स्टॉक और क्लोजिंग स्टॉक में अब टाइम कौन सा नोट करते हैं? जनवरी सेम ईयर होगा दोनों तरफ?
क्लोजिंग में 31 दिसंबर नोट करेंगे 5 बजे, मान लीजिए जब भी बंद करते हैं, और ओपनिंग में 1 जनवरी करेंगे।
सर सेम ईयर?
नो सेम ईयर कैसे हो जाएगा? ये बताओ, 31 दिसंबर और 1 जनवरी सेम कैसे हो जाएगा? 31 दिसंबर ऑफ 2020 तो 1 जनवरी ऑफ 2021।
ओके सर।
भाई जो आपके यहाँ मान लीजिए कोई कंपनी है, जो मारुति का अलीगढ़ में ये RS होंडा का शोरूम, आप नीचे जाके देखिएगा, उसके अंदर मान लीजिए 500 स्कूटर मोटरसाइकिल खड़ी हैं। 31 दिसंबर अगर उनकी वो है तो 500 के 500 31 दिसंबर को रहेंगी वो। तो 1 जनवरी कौन सा होगा? नेक्स्ट ईयर का तो होगा ना। तो जो 31 दिसंबर का क्लोजिंग स्टॉक था वो 1 जनवरी का ओपनिंग स्टॉक हो जाएगा। तो ईयर तो चेंज होना ही होना है, वरना 1 जनवरी ऑफ 2020 की थोड़ी बात कर रहे हैं हम। 31 दिसंबर 2020 इज क्लोजिंग स्टॉक, तो 1 जनवरी 2021 विल बी द सेम वैल्यू ऑफ ओपनिंग स्टॉक।
सर
हाँ बताओ
सर। क्लोजिंग एंट्रीज में आपने ये पूछा था कि जो डेप्रिसिएशन है वो इसमें कन्वेंशन कौन सा अप्लाई होगा, कॉस्ट कन्वेंशन या फिर कंजर्वेटिज्म? सब बता क्लियर कर सकते हैं सर? कौन?
दोनों में से एक भी नहीं होगा।
यस सर।
कंजर्वेटिज्म कैसे होगा? व्हाट इज कंजर्वेटिज्म?
सर मुझे कॉस्ट कन्वेंशन लगा।
कॉस्ट भी नहीं है। पहले ये बताइए कंजर्वेटिज्म क्या है? कंजर्वेटिज्म नहीं है ना?
यस सर।
तो कॉस्ट भी नहीं है।
ओके सर, देन
हाँ बताओ, सोच के क्या होगा फिर? आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप
डेप्रिसिएशन।
हाँ बता तो रहा हूँ, आप क्या डेप्रिसिएशन में आप क्या कर रहे हैं? एक एसेट आपने खरीदी 5 लाख रुपए की, आप उसको 5 लाख को एक्सपेंस नहीं मान रहे राइटली, बल्कि उस 5 लाख को आप 5 साल तक ले जा रहे हैं। पहले साल 1 लाख, दूसरे साल 1 लाख, तीसरे साल 1 लाख, 5वें साल में से आकर 0। तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं? ये मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट आप कर रहे हैं। एक्सपेंसेस एंड एक्सपेंस इनकम आर टू बी मैच्ड फॉर द सेम ईयर। आपने ये मान लिया कि ये 5 लाख में से इस साल का इसका खर्च जो है वो 1 लाख के करीब होगा, अगले साल 1 लाख के करीब होगा, उससे अगले साल 1 लाख के करीब होगा। आप बिल्डिंग खरीदते हैं तो बिल्डिंग को असेट क्यों मानते हैं? आप बिल्डिंग अगर नहीं खरीदेंगे तो दूसरा ऑप्शन क्या है आपके पास? दूसरा ऑप्शन किराए की बिल्डिंग है नहीं? किराए की बिल्डिंग।
यस सर।
उस पर क्या पे करेंगे? रेंट पे करेंगे, तो रेंट आपका एक्सपेंस हो जाएगा। इसी सूरत से अगर कार का एग्जाम्पल लें, कार आप नहीं खरीदने के तो आप क्या करेंगे? टैक्सी हायर करेंगे।
टैक्सी।
तो टैक्सी के जो एक्सपेंसेस हैं वो टैक्सी का बिल एक्सपेंस हो जाएगा। तो इसी सूरत से अगर बिल्डिंग खरीद ली तो डेप्रिसिएशन हमारा हर साल उसका एक्सपेंस हो जाएगा। कार खरीद ली तो उसका डेप्रिसिएशन हर साल हो जाएगा बजाय टैक्सी चार्ज करने के। इसलिए ये मैचिंग कॉन्सेप्ट के तहत आप इसको करते हैं।
ओके सर।
चलिए ठीक है। वो 2 सवाल जो मैंने आपको बताया था आपको याद है कि मैक्सिमम रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कितना चार्ज हो सकता है, और दूसरा मैंने आपको बताया था ये जो ABC को इंटरेस्ट पे करने वाला है कि उसको हम इंटरेस्ट देंगे। इस पर आप मुझे जब भी आपके जहन में आ जाए आप मुझे इसका जवाब बता दीजिएगा। we can close the meeting now.
Thank you, sir.
Unless you have
Thank
any
you,
unless you have a specific question, I am prepared to answer. If not, then we can close the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sir.
Walaikum.